So the purpose of the web certificate is to give people an overview of web design in a short amount of time.
Our web design certificate is very focused on just the nuts and bolts of what you need to get this kind of work done and to be able to present to an employer.
So it's an 18-hour certificate and you can get all the classes handled in a year.
Being able to actually build my own website, sit down, have an idea, plan it out, and actually bring it to life, that's been really awesome. And then seeing that, well, okay, if I can do that, then I can help someone else with their vision and bring it to life.
We get into user interface design as well as some code introduction with HTML and CSS. We get into Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator. We also get into social media presence and intertwine all those together.
Graphic design is definitely a very saturated workforce, and web design can be as well, but having the two skills makes you stand out.
I definitely needed the classes that I did at Chatt State. Came out with a very firm grasp of HTML and CSS, which I use on a day-to-day basis.
Even just as a graphic designer, if something goes wrong where a site crashes, I can go into it and look and say, oh, it's missing this, and know how to fix it.
Photoshop and Illustrator classes, they're priceless. I mean, everyone expects you to know Adobe when you work in the field, and I'm expected to work with it every day, and I definitely feel like I learned a lot about that here.
We start introducing Figma, Webflow, and Y-Code. And then we also start introducing online libraries such as Bootstrap. My ultimate goal would be for a student to lay out a website and present it to a client and then code and give them a final product at the end of the day.
It's interesting to learn how designers and developers work differently, but they come together to make a finished product.
Being able to have a class in person has been very beneficial, but I'm also the type of person that once I get basic concepts down, I can kind of take it and run. So I kind of appreciate both because I get the best of both worlds.
So what has shown tremendous success here is having students have 24/7 access to the software and the hardware that they need to do the work. So we've got great labs on campus, but if they check out a computer and they've got an Adobe account that's paid for by the school, they could do everything they need to whenever they are available to do it.
It is so hands-on right away, and I think that's really valuable to have hands-on experience with something that's current and is what you're going to be using when you're out the door, and that definitely prepared me.
I think one of the reasons I really love web development is you have so much control. I mean, basically, if you can dream it, you can build it.